I'm standing at my sister's wedding reception. White flowers everywhere. String lights. A champagne tower that probably cost more than my car. Everyone's laughing, dancing, having the time of their lives. My mother walks up to me. Her smile is tight. "Where's your gift?" she asks. Loud enough that 3 people turn around. I don't blink. "You already took $15,000 from my account," I say. That was the gift. The music doesn't stop, but the air does. Her face goes pale. My father steps closer, jaw clenched. My sister, Emma the bride, stares at me like I just set her veil on fire. Want to know how my own parents stole my future? And how I made sure they paid it back? Dollar for dollar in front of everyone. Drop your time zone in the comments. Let's see who else is up late sorting through family drama. And hit that subscribe button, because you're going to want to see how this ends. Let me take you back 6 months. I grew up knowing I was the spare. Emma was the star, the golden child. Private college. Brand new car at 16. Never worked a day in her life. Me? I went to state school. Worked 2 jobs. Paid my own tuition. I waited tables on weekends. I delivered groceries before my morning classes. I learned how to make a dollar stretch and how to save every receipt. By the time I was 22, I'd opened a high-yield savings account. No one else had access, just me. I deposited every extra dollar. $10 here, $50 there. Tax refunds, birthday checks from my grandma. 3 years, $14,912. I had a spreadsheet, color-coded. I knew the exact date I'd hit 15,000. That money was my future, my down payment, my way out. I'm the kind of person who screenshots every Venmo request, every text message, every email. Call it paranoia. Call it survival. My parents taught me early that words mean nothing if you can't prove them, so I kept everything. Emma, meanwhile, was living her best Instagram life. Brunches, trips to Napa, a walk-in closet that could fit my entire apartment. She didn't save. She didn't have to. Our parents made sure of that. I told myself it didn't matter. I was building something they couldn't touch. I was wrong. Then Emma got engaged, and everything I'd built was about to disappear. My parents called me over for Sunday dinner. I should have known something was wrong. My mother had made my favorite pasta. She never did that unless she wanted something. After dessert, my father cleared his throat. "We need to talk about Emma's wedding," he said. I nodded. I'd already agreed to be maid of honor. I'd already said I'd help with setup. The venue, the florals, the band. "It's going to be about $40,000, my mother added. Her tone was casual, like she was talking about the weather. "Okay," I said slowly. "That's a lot." "We have 25,000 saved," my father continued. "But we need help with the rest." My stomach dropped. "We were hoping you could chip in," my mother said. "As maid of honor. As family." I stared at them. "How much are we talking?" 15,000 would cover it. I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. "I don't have $15,000 to give you," I said. That was a lie. But I wasn't about to hand over my entire future for a party. "You have savings," my mother said. It wasn't a question. "I have a down payment fund," I said carefully. "For a condo. I've been saving for 3 years. My father leaned forward. "Emma would do this for you." No, she wouldn't. Emma wouldn't give me 15 cents, let alone $15,000. "I can give you 2,000, I said. "That's my max." My parents looked at each other. Something passed between them. I didn't catch it then, but I remembered it later. "Well," my mother said, voice cold. "We'll figure it out. Family always does." That should have been my first warning. 2 weeks later, I logged into my savings account. I had an appointment to view a condo. I needed to transfer money for the application fee. I pulled up the app, entered my password. The screen loaded. Balance, $187.43. My hands started shaking. I refreshed. Same number. I opened the transaction history. 3 withdrawals, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. All within the last week. I called the bank. My voice was barely steady. "There's been a mistake," I said. "Someone drained my account." The rep clicked through screens. "The withdrawals were authorized by a joint account holder," she said. "I'm the only account holder," I said. "Our records show a secondary authorized user was added 4 years ago." My stomach turned to ice. I never added anyone. "You'll need to come into the branch with documentation, ma'am." I hung up. I called my parents. No answer. I called again. Voicemail. I texted Emma. She replied in 30 seconds. A champagne emoji, a heart, and 6 words. Thanks for stepping up. Love you. She knew. She knew. And she was celebrating. I sat on my floor, stared at my phone. I thought I'd lost everything. Turns out I just found my leverage. I went to the bank the next morning. I brought my driver's license, my original account opening paperwork, every statement I'd ever saved. The branch manager pulled up my file. A secondary authorized user was added 4 years ago, she confirmed. Show me, I said. She turned the screen. There it was, a scanned signature form, dated 4 years prior, right after I'd opened the account. The signature looked like mine, but it wasn't. I know my own signature. The loops were wrong. The slant was too steep. I pulled out my ID, my account opening form. Look at these, I said. I laid them side by side. The manager leaned in. Her expression changed. These don't match, she said quietly. No, they don't. She printed both documents, highlighted the differences, the capital letters, the tail on the Y, the spacing. This may indicate unauthorized access, she said carefully. You'll need to file a police report or speak to a lawyer to dispute the withdrawals. I took photos of everything. My mother had forged my signature. 4 years ago. She'd been on my account this whole time, waiting for the balance to be worth stealing. I walked out of that bank with a folder full of evidence. But I knew the signature was just the beginning. I needed to know how deep this went. I sent my parents a text. You forged my signature. You stole $15,000. I have the bank records. My father called within 2 minutes. Stole? He shouted. We're your parents. You owe this family. I don't owe you, fraud, I said. My mother grabbed the phone. Her voice was ice. If you make trouble, you're not welcome at the wedding, she said. Or any family event. Ever. I took a breath. Then I'll go to the police. She laughed. Actually laughed. Go ahead. Tell everyone your parents are criminals. See who believes you. She had a point. And she knew it. Emma's guests. Your aunts. Your cousins. They'll all know you tried to ruin her special day. I hung up. 10 minutes later, Emma sent a group text. To everyone. Aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. Some people care more about money than love. Guess we know where she stands. My phone exploded. Aunt Carol, how could you? Uncle Jim, it's just money. Family is forever. My cousin Stephanie. You're being selfish. No one asked my side. No one asked if it was true. I called my best friend. Told her everything. Can you just let it go? She said quietly. For peace? That's when I realized. I was alone. The wedding was 3 weeks away. I had a choice. Stay silent and lose everything, or fight and lose everyone. I chose me. I hired a lawyer, consumer rights, contingency fee. She took one look at my documents and nodded. We can work with this, she said. She subpoenaed the bank's internal records, full metadata on the signature form. It took a week. When the report came back, it was even worse than I'd thought. The form had been submitted online, from my parents' home IP address. On a date I wasn't even in the state. I pulled my old emails, found the travel confirmation. I'd been in another city that week. A work training, 200 miles away. There was no way I could have signed that form in person or online from their house. My lawyer highlighted it in yellow. That's your alibi, she said. But she wasn't done. She pulled up the transaction log. Went back 4 years. There were 3 other withdrawal attempts. All failed. Insufficient funds, the note said. My parents had tried to take money before. 3 times. But my balance had been too low. Not worth the effort. So they'd waited, watched, let the account grow. And then they struck. My lawyer looked at me across the desk. This is wire fraud and identity theft, she said. Felony territory. I wasn't just angry anymore. I was armed. My lawyer ran an asset trace. It's not as dramatic as it sounds. Public records, credit checks, LinkedIn. She also talked to a few people, quietly. What she found explained everything. 2 years ago, my parents had refinanced their house. Why? To pay off Emma's student loans. Loans from a college she'd dropped out of. $60,000 down the drain. They were carrying credit card debt. A lot of it. My father's business was failing. Slowly. Quietly. No one outside the family knew. Then there was the wedding. My mother's sister is wealthy. Very wealthy. She was flying in with her whole social circle. If the wedding looked cheap, my mother would never hear the end of it. It wasn't about Emma's happiness. It was about image, status, keeping up. My cousin accidentally confirmed it in a text. Your mom told everyone you donated the money, she wrote. She said you insisted on paying because you're so proud of Emma. That's when it clicked. I was never their daughter in this equation. I was an asset, a line item, a problem they could solve by signing my name. My lawyer handed me the credit report summary, the refinance paperwork, the text from my cousin. Now you know why, she said. I did. And I knew exactly what I had to do. I sat in my lawyer's office. She slid a document across the desk. Formal demand letter, she said. They have 10 business days to return the $15,000. In full. And if they don't? We file a civil suit, fraud, identity theft, emotional distress, and I notify the district attorney's office. She tapped the stack of evidence. The signatures, the IP logs, the failed withdrawals. This is airtight, she said. They'll either pay or they'll implode. Either way, you win. I signed the retainer agreement. Then I went to the police station. I filed a report. Not to press charges, not yet, but to create an official record. The officer took my statement, looked at the bank documents. You might want to close that account, he said. I already had. I wrote a letter to the bank, formally disputing every withdrawal. My lawyer sent the demand letter via certified mail. My parents would have to sign for it. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't announce it. I just waited. The letter went out 3 days before the wedding. I didn't sleep much that week. But I wasn't scared. I kept repeating a single sentence to myself. Boundaries aren't cruel. Theft is. The letter arrived the morning of Emma's bridal brunch. I know because my mother called me 67 times that day. I didn't pick up once. The wedding day came. I went. I know that sounds crazy, but I had my reasons. I wanted to see their faces. I wanted witnesses. And I wanted to be there when the truth came out. I wore a simple dress. I brought no gift. The ceremony was beautiful. I'll give Emma that. The reception started. Speeches, toasts, cake cutting. Then my mother found me by the dessert table. Where's your gift? She said. Her voice was loud, sharp. 3 guests turned to look. I met her eyes. You already took $15,000 from my account, I said. Calm, clear. That was the gift. Her face went white. My father appeared beside her. He grabbed my arm. We need to talk, he hissed. Outside. I pulled my arm back. Don't touch me. He leaned in close. That lawyer letter is extortion, he said. You're bluffing. I smiled. I actually smiled. No, I said. Extortion is what you did when you forged my signature and stole from me for 4 years. 4 years? My mother's voice cracked. I have the IP logs, I said. The geolocation data, the timestamps, the 3 failed withdrawal attempts before you finally hit the jackpot. Emma was there now. She'd heard the raised voices. You're lying, she said. You wouldn't ruin my wedding. I turned to her. I'm not ruining anything, I said. I'm just not funding it anymore. A small crowd had gathered. Cousins, aunts, a few of Emma's bridesmaids. I pulled out my phone. I opened the photos. The bank statement. The withdrawal history. $15,000. Gone. I swiped to the next image. The signature comparison. Side by side. This is my real signature, I said, pointing. And this is the one your mother forged. My father lunged for my phone. I stepped back. Held it high. Touch me or my property again, I said, voice steady. And I add harassment to the complaint. My mother started crying. Loud, dramatic sobs. Playing the victim. Right on cue. I looked at Emma. Congratulations on your wedding, I said. I really hope it was worth $15,000 of someone else's future. Then I turned and walked out. No yelling, no scene. Just the truth. In front of everyone. My phone started buzzing before I even reached my car. Texts from family members. Panic, confusion, anger. I didn't look back. 6 days later, my lawyer got a call. My parents' attorney wanted to negotiate. They offered a settlement, $15,000, paid in installments over 12 months. No admission of guilt, but no contest to the claim. My lawyer looked at me. Your call. I thought about it. I could push for criminal charges. I had the evidence. But that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted my money back. I wanted boundaries. I wanted my life. I'll take it, I said. But I want it in writing, notarized, ironclad. We drafted the agreement. They signed. The first payment hit my account a week later. On time. Every month after that. On time. I didn't hear from my parents for a while. Then my mother sent an email. Subject line, can we talk? The body was 3 lines. I'm sorry you felt hurt. We only wanted to help Emma. I hope one day you'll forgive us. Not an apology, a deflection. I didn't reply. My father never reached out at all. Emma sent one text, short, brutal. You're dead to me. I blocked her number. Some of my relatives stopped speaking to me. Aunts, uncles, a few cousins. They chose the version of the story that was easier to believe. But a few others reached out. Privately. One cousin told me her parents had drained her college fund for her brother's car. Another told me about a forged loan cosign. I wasn't alone. I'd just been the first one loud enough to say it. Over the next year, I rebuilt. New savings account. Different bank. New protections. I started therapy. Worked through the betrayal. The grief. Because it was grief. Losing your family, even when they hurt you, still hurts. I found a condo. Smaller than I'd planned, but mine. I moved in on a Saturday. No one helped me. I didn't ask. I painted the walls. I bought secondhand furniture. I made it home. Some of my cousins started setting boundaries with their own parents. We'd text, share stories, support each other. Turns out when you stand up, you give other people permission to do the same. My parents paid off the settlement in full. 12 months. Not a day late. I haven't seen them since the wedding. I don't know if I ever will, and I'm okay with that. Because I learned something that year. Family isn't about blood. It's about respect. And respect without boundaries is just control waiting to break you. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to choose between keeping the peace and keeping your boundaries? What did you do? Drop your story in the comments. You're not alone in this. And if this video helped you see your situation more clearly, hit subscribe. There are more stories like this. Real ones, honest ones. You deserve to know you're not crazy for protecting yourself. I'll see you in the next one. This has been a fictionalized dramatization and is not legal or financial advice.